Title, Shadows of Justice, Episode 5, The Encrypted Menace. Chapter 1, The Encrypted Call. The sun had just dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows over Metroplex when Jesse Chasland's phone buzzed. Maya, eyes fixed on her laptop, looked up and nodded. "It's the encrypted message," she said. Jesse answered the call, and a distorted voice came through. "Jesse Chasland? I see you've been busy, but your efforts are in vain. The real game begins now. You have 24 hours to find me, or Metroplex will burn." The line went dead, leaving Jesse, Ramirez, and Maya in tense silence. The team knew they had to act fast. This new threat, whoever they were, had resources and audacity. "Who do you think it is?" Ramirez asked, his brow furrowed. Jesse shook his head. "Could be anyone. We've made a lot of enemies, but this voice, they're confident, and they've planned this for a long time." Chapter 2. Unmasking the enemy. Maya immediately set to work on tracing the call while Ramirez gathered their gear. Jesse paced, thinking of possible suspects. The call's encryption was top-notch, but Maya's skills were unparalleled. Within an hour, she narrowed down the location to an abandoned tech facility on the outskirts of the city. "Looks like we have a lead," she said, showing the pinpointed location on her screen. "But it's a fortress. We need to be prepared." Jesse nodded. "We've faced worse. Let's move." They piled into their SUV and drove through the city. The streets were unusually quiet, the city seemingly holding its breath. As they neared the tech facility, Jesse reviewed their plan. "Ramirez, you take the south entrance. Maya, cover us from the ridge. I'll go in through the main gate." Ramirez smirked. "Just like old times." Chapter 3, The Tech Fortress. The facility was a sprawling complex surrounded by a high fence and patrolled by armed guards. Jesse, Ramirez, and Maya approached under the cover of darkness. Using a combination of stealth and precision, they took out the perimeter guards and made their way inside. The interior was a maze of corridors and rooms filled with high-tech equipment. The deeper they went, the more resistance they encountered. The team moved with military precision, neutralizing threats and gathering intel. In the control room, they found evidence of the mastermind's plan. Detailed blueprints of the city's infrastructure, lists of targets, and a countdown timer set to 20 hours. The attacker had planned to cripple Metroplex's power grid, water supply, and communication networks simultaneously. Maya worked quickly to hack the mainframe, downloading critical information. "This is big," she said. "We're looking at a citywide catastrophe." Jesse glanced at the countdown. "Then we don't have time to waste. Let's split up and neutralize these threats." Chapter 4, Race Against Time. With the timer ticking down, Jesse and his team split up to handle the three major. So Jesse took the power grid, Ramirez the water supply, and Maya the communication networks. At the power grid, Jesse found himself in a fierce battle against a group of mercenaries. Using his combat skills and quick thinking, he managed to disable the explosives set to destroy the facility's main control room. Ramirez faced similar challenges at the water supply plant. The terrorists had rigged the pumps with explosives. In a tense standoff, Ramirez defused the bombs and took down the operatives, securing the facility. Maya, at the communication center, hacked into the terrorists' network, disabling their ability to coordinate the attacks. She also uncovered additional information about the mastermind, including a potential identity, Dr. Cassandra Voss, a disgraced former tech prodigy with a vendetta against the city. Chapter 5. The Final Confrontation. With the immediate threats neutralized, the team regrouped and focused on tracking down Dr. Voss. Maya traced her digital footprint to a high-rise building downtown, which housed a luxurious penthouse suite. The team infiltrated the building, making their way to the top floor. As they entered the penthouse, they found themselves in a high-tech command center. Dr. Voss was waiting for them, surrounded by armed guards and advanced security systems. "Welcome, Jesse," she said with a cold smile. "You've been a thorn in my side for too long, but it ends here." A massive fight ensued. Jesse and Ramirez engaged the guards in hand-to-hand combat, while Maya used her tech skills to disable the security systems. Dr. Voss tried to escape, but Jesse pursued her, determined to end the threat once and for all. In a climactic showdown on the rooftop, Jesse cornered Dr. Voss. "It's over, Cassandra," he said. "You've lost." Dr. Voss, realizing she was defeated, sneered. "You think you've won? This is just the beginning. With that, she activated a remote detonator, but nothing happened. Maya had already disabled the explosives. Dr. Voss's face twisted with rage. You're clever, I'll give you that, but you can't stop what's coming. Chapter 6, A Deeper Conspiracy. Jesse handcuffed Dr. Voss and brought her back to the team. Ramirez and Maya were securing the remaining guards when Captain Ellis arrived with reinforcements. Good work, Ellis said. We'll take it from here. As Dr. Voss was led away, Jesse noticed a peculiar symbol on her wrist, a tattoo he had seen before. Wait, he called out, stopping the officers. What does that symbol mean? Dr. Voss smiled wickedly. It's a reminder, Jesse. You've only scratched the surface. Back at their headquarters, Jesse, Ramirez, and Maya examined the intel they had gathered. The symbol led them to an underground network of tech criminals known as the Syndicate, a group with far-reaching influence and resources. Maya's face paled as she read through the files. The Syndicate isn't just about money. They're after control. They've been manipulating events in Metroplex for years. Ramirez slammed his fist on the table. We need to take them down, once and for all. Chapter 7, Into the Lion's Den. Their investigation led them to a hidden base beneath the city. The entrance was concealed within the subway system, guarded by Syndicate operatives. Jesse, Ramirez, and Maya devised a plan to infiltrate the base and gather evidence to dismantle the organization. Disguised as Syndicate members, they navigated the tunnels, avoiding security cameras and patrols. The deeper they went, the more they realized the scale of the operation. The Syndicate controlled everything from illegal arms trades to high-stakes cybercrime. In the heart of the base, they found a control room buzzing with activity. Syndicate leaders were discussing their next moves, unaware of the intruders in their midst. Jesse signaled to his team, "We need to take them out now." A coordinated assault ensued. Jesse and Ramirez took down the guards while Maya hacked into the Syndicate's mainframe, downloading critical information. The battle was intense, with the Syndicate leaders fighting fiercely to protect their empire. In the chaos, Jesse confronted the head of the Syndicate, a man known only as Shade. "You've caused enough damage," Jesse said, aiming his weapon. Shade laughed. "You have no idea what you're up against, Chasland. The Syndicate is everywhere. Even if you take me down, another will rise." Chapter 8, The Final Showdown. Jesse and Shade engaged in a brutal fight, each blow resonating with years of built-up tension. Ramirez and Maya continued their assault on the remaining operatives, ensuring no one escaped. As the battle raged, Jesse managed to disarm Shade and pin him to the ground. "This ends now," he said, cuffing the Syndicate leader. Maya's voice crackled through the comms. "I've got everything we need. Evidence, names, locations, we can bring them all down." With Shade in custody and the Syndicate's network dismantled, Metroplex could finally begin to heal. The city's leaders praised Jesse and his team for their relentless pursuit of justice. Epilogue: Shadows of the Future. Back at their headquarters, the team reviewed the data they had collected. The Syndicate's reach was extensive, but their grip on Metroplex had been broken. Jesse received a message from Hector in Australia. His father was making a miraculous recovery, and Hector sent his thanks and support. Jesse felt a renewed sense of hope. Despite the darkness, there was always a glimmer of light. As the sun rose over Metroplex, Jesse looked out over the city they had fought so hard to protect. "We did good," he said to Ramirez and Maya, "but there's always more work to be done." Maya nodded. "We'll be ready for whatever comes next." Ramirez clapped Jesse on the shoulder. "Together, we can handle anything." And so the Shadows of Justice continued their vigil over Metroplex, ever watchful, ever ready to defend the city from those who threatened its peace.